Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. This is Evelyn O'Malley, Lady of the Realm, with another tea time. Last week we left off on feminist rhetoric and how it's been affecting us and stuff. And I believe today is just looking it up. The 23rd. Alright, when this movie should be, every movie video should be released. And this was a personal question. And that is, what is your purpose in life? And not just purpose, what brings you joy? What brings you clarity in life? I don't want to go into too much of my own personal positions, but the two things that bring me the most happiness, or any happiness at all, is listening to my old 90s music. And yes, I know I tend to rant here a lot on my, on my channel as well. I know a lot of people who do, that's why I'm doing it, duh. But still, it's hard to imagine or think of what brings one happiness in this world, especially the way it's set up. We have a world where they tell you, you're too young for this, you're too young for that. Oh, well, you're supposed to be married by now, you're supposed to be settled down by now. Forgetting that our world is modernized. Meaning, why are we reverting back to a time period that we didn't want in the first place, just because? Let's see. I guess another thing I have to state is, there's a few things that bring me joy. Well, I guess not joy, but a smile to my face. I know happiness is fleeting, while joy is forever kind of thing. But the funny thing is, one of the other things I do for my joy is taking a walk. I think not too long ago, I started doing a long walk from my home to here. And I hopefully, or probably have, hopefully will, or eventually will, have done a video of me just walking around my neighborhood, because I have to admit, the neighborhood I live in, even though I don't live in a, well, I'm not going to tell you where I live, okay? That's just, no. Not going there. I wish I could, but I can't. However, I'll say, one of the few places I like to walk past or drive past is suburbs. Where they have one house facing another house. And you have this whole row of houses facing, one row facing the other row. One way or the other. You get the idea. And I guess it's because I've saw so many movies with kids in suburbs and how that whole concept was built. I enjoyed it because I guess it's always this idea of suburbs suck. When you're a kid, living in the suburbs absolutely sucks. And I guess it's because, well, it just does. It's this wanting to live in a place that is so milquetoast that's not even funny, that puts me in a good mood and makes me feel normal. Even though they're children who live in houses where there's all this money, all this time, blah, 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 and you get worshipped and honored and da-da-da. It's a selfish concept to be acting. Like, oh yes, owes me something. But at the same time, you can't help but be selfish. Because that's all you've been taught, that's all you know, and that's all you can be. But then, you are the poor child who has nothing to really be selfish about. Mom and dad rarely, give you a lot of attention, love you to death, but these two idiots can't realize, hey, it would be nice to have some money in the house. I'm not saying, hey, I want us to be so rich that you can't afford to be around me. But at the same time, it would be nice to have a warm house, a warm home. And it's not denying that you don't love your parents. Like I said, you love them. You don't hate them. You just wish you had something better. Especially for them. You want them to grow up. You want them to be in a happy home too. I always find it interesting when children raise their parents, because I found myself in that situation. Not personally, like, no, I didn't raise them. I didn't take care of all the little things. But I acted in a role of parent of raising them in a way. Like, I helped them grow up, like most kids do, by just being a kid. And recognizing that they act like children and say, really? You know? Please don't let that get around. I don't really think I want them to know I think that way. But anyways, swears taste like chocolate and milk sometimes. Hot chocolate, by the way. But anyways, back to what I was saying with purpose and stuff like that. But yeah, the reason why that gives me joy is, like I said, I find it to be beautiful, and I wish I could live there. And I wish I could have lived on a street where there were two sides. It's to each, one side to another side. I wish there were more. Well, I'm not gonna tell you. No, I'll tell you. It's not that big of a deal. I wish there were more kids on my street, because it would be nice to talk to someone else, get outside the house, because I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a shut-in. And not an informatics shut-in. Yes, I learned that word not too long ago. You're not going to hear it too much, but hopefully you will. Or if you haven't heard it by now, there you go. Anyways, yes, please follow me on my Tumblr, my Twitter, and check out my fan fiction if I haven't written something up by this point. Hey, I'm sure I have something now, but I'm really in the works of trying to write one each week. And hopefully I've done a couple, or at least 4 book reviews by now. Anyways, good night, ladies and germs. This is Evelyn O'Malley.